When Alessandro Michele debuted his highly anticipated Spring-Summer 2025 collection for Valentino, the fashion world was ready to deliver its verdict. The buzz had started well before the last model stepped off the mirrored runway, as opinions swirled online with fervent debate. For some, the collection marked a radical departure from the Valentino they thought they knew. For others, it was proof of Michele's ability to reinterpret the brand's DNA through his unique lens. But let's pause and consider the context. When Valentino's leadership brought him on board, they were fully aware of the designer's revolutionary impact at Gucci. He had taken a fading legacy brand and transformed it into a cultural phenomenon. With that track record, Valentino's CEOs likely saw Alessandro Michele as their answer to breathing fresh life into the maison. And yet, the loudest critique after his Spring-Summer 2025 show seems to be this: this isn't Valentino. This criticism begs the question, what does it mean for something to be authentically Valentino? Those who scoff at his interpretation often treat the brand as though it follows a rigid recipe, like differentiating between Coca-Cola and Coke Zero. But fashion is not a static formula. It evolves with each creative director. Alessandro Michele's process undoubtedly involved months of immersion in Valentino's storied archives, studying sketches, prints, and textiles from decades past. It's worth remembering that Valentino Garavani founded the house in 1960, creating a legacy steeped in elegance and romance. Alessandro Michele, known for his maximalist tendencies and love of vintage-inspired aesthetics, has taken that legacy and added his own distinctive flair. While Pierpaolo Piccioli's recent tenure modernized Valentino with his signature minimalism and fluidity, Alessandro Michele's interpretation leans into rich textures, bold embellishments, and theatrical storytelling, qualities that have always been part of Valentino's DNA, even if expressed differently. For those willing to look closely, Michele's debut pays homage to Valentino's history in subtle but meaningful ways. Consider the cropped polka dot jacket, an unmistakable nod to Iman's iconic look from Valentino's Spring 1985 ready-to-wear collection. The intricately embellished jackets recall the Fall 2002 couture collection, while cascading ruffles on dresses and blouses harken back to Valentino's Spring 2002 ready-to-wear line. An Instagram account aptly named Valentino Archive provides a visual history of these moments, reminding us that Michele's work is deeply rooted in the brand's past. However, it's his interpretation, a thematic and highly stylized approach, that makes his work unmistakably his own. One challenge he faces, regardless of the house he helms, is the fact that his signature style is no longer the revolution it was when he first redefined Gucci almost a decade ago. In 2015, he shocked the fashion world with his embrace of gender fluidity, vintage maximalism, and a luxe thrift aesthetic. At the time, it felt entirely new, an antidote to the sleek minimalism dominating the runways. Fast forward to 2025, and the fashion landscape has changed. Many critics were hoping that Michele's move to Valentino would signal a reinvention, a fresh evolution of his style to suit the maison. Yet, his Spring-Summer 2025 collection confirms something important. He remains committed to his ethos of blending historical references with modern eccentricity. Just days before his Valentino debut, Alessandro Michele reminded us of the romance missing from contemporary runways. But this wasn't the girlish softness of Piccioli's Valentino. Instead, he leaned into a darker, more mature romance. His Valentino woman exudes confidence and mystery, appealing to both women of a certain age and those with timeless elegance who occupy a particular wealth bracket. The Spring-Summer 2025 collection brought this aesthetic to life with floor-sweeping gowns in deep jewel tones, tailored jackets adorned with intricate embroidery, and playful polka dot prints that felt both nostalgic and modern. His designs bridge the gap between nostalgia and contemporary relevance, creating pieces that feel timeless yet bold. To fully understand this vision for Valentino, it's essential to revisit his legacy at Gucci. When he took over as creative director in 2015, the brand was struggling to find its identity. He transformed Gucci into a maximalist utopia where eclectic prints, gender-fluid tailoring, and whimsical accessories became the norm. He brought storytelling back to fashion, creating collections that felt like richly layered narratives. Under his leadership, Gucci became a cultural phenomenon, attracting a new generation of consumers. He wasn't just designing clothes, he was crafting an entire universe, one that blurred the lines between past and present, masculinity and femininity, luxury and kitsch. This same approach is evident in his Valentino collection. He doesn't aim to erase the brand's history. Instead, he reinterprets it through his own lens. The result is a collection that feels both familiar and entirely new, a balancing act that only a designer of Alessandro Michele's caliber could achieve. As he settles into his role at Valentino, it's clear that his vision will continue to spark debate. His style is polarizing by nature, but it's also what makes him one of the most compelling designers of our time. While some may yearn for a return to Piccioli's understated elegance, others will embrace Alessandro Michele's unapologetic celebration of individuality and creativity. Ultimately, this Valentino is not about adhering to a strict recipe. It's about pushing boundaries, exploring new narratives, and reimagining what the brand can be in the modern era. Whether you love it or hate it, one thing is certain: New Valentino will keep us talking for years to come.